Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm drawing some more ice cream for the ice cream sticker sheet that I'm hoping to release sometime by summer. And this time we have another popsicle bar style ice cream, but this time with chocolate on top. I was looking around for reference images, royalty free of course. If you don't take it yourself, make sure it's royalty free. And this one really caught my eye because of like the cracks in the chocolate and the bite taken out of it, and I just thought that was a lot more interesting than a plain old ice cream bar freshly out of the package. So yeah, I went into it. I grabbed a few markers that I ended up not using. I just kind of grabbed all the browns that I thought I could use, and I ended up grabbing like darker ones that actually I didn't need. And the beginning here was actually quite slow going because I was kind of unsure of what to do. And so this first section, laying down the first like layer of color, I sped that up extra fast because I was really slow and I thought you guys would get really bored. And then starting from around here, it's gonna pick up in just a second because I actually was like, oh okay, I think I know what I'm doing now. And by pick up I mean slow down. I mean, it's not as sped up, but my actions were quicker. So yeah, I don't think this ended up looking exactly like the reference image, and that's fine. I went into this thinking I don't think I'm gonna make it exactly the same, and I don't know if it's the angle or if it's because of the warping of the paper. I don't want to say this because maybe you wouldn't notice if I didn't say it. It looks a little funny, like it doesn't look exactly rectangular. It could have been, again, the angle of how I was drawing it or something, but it's fine. When I make this into a sticker, I'm gonna fix it up digitally because that's the amazing thing about the technology that we have nowadays. So I love traditional art, but that is a big bonus of doing things digitally. So worst comes to worst, scan your traditional art and fix it up. Sometimes I go into it planning to do some changes digitally anyway, so it's not a big deal. And I think that's all part of the process. But yeah, it's got some interesting shapes and cracking here. I wanted to make sure that you could really see the contours, like where it gets really dark versus where it's not so dark. I think for the longest time, most of it was too light, and I was too afraid to go too dark too quickly in case I regretted it, and I just kept layering the same brown color. I think it's like something cacao, which was very, very good for this one. What was that? You could probably see it on the marker at some point. But yeah, that's basically like the biggest base color, the second one that I used on the chocolate. And if you layer the same color over and over again, it can make it darker, so I did eventually make it darker. But yeah, I think we got there eventually. Just going in like here, I was like, oh, is it gonna be too dark? I just kept going in with that so many times. Yeah, like here I was like, I just gotta go for it and then blend out the edges. So I think the reason I kept going over with the same color instead of grabbing darker colors is because I didn't feel like I had a good in-between shade of the same hue, like the same warm kind of brown. So I was afraid that I was gonna take away the sort of chocolatey color and make it more like a wood color with the other markers I have that are kind of in between the shades I was using, but it was fine. It worked out in the end. And yeah, I think the shape of like the divot or divots, there might, is there one? Is there two? It looks like there's just one here. I think the reference image is two, but you couldn't really see it because of how the light was hitting it. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna really emphasize this big one here. And yeah, there it is. There I am realizing it's been too light for too long. We have to add more. And so it was just slowly, like it often is, slowly building and building and building until I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, I'm going to ruin it if I do it anymore. And this didn't take me that long. This was like 49 minutes, I think, total footage time. So longer than that with the sketch, which I did sketch directly onto the Bristol board. I don't always do that, but I was like, it's a rectangle. How hard's it going to be? Apparently I don't know how to draw rectangles because it's a little bit off, but again, it's fine. We'll fix it later. And the stick also kind of looks a bit like the inside lines good, but there's some I just kept drawing over it, and I went over it with colored pencil as well at the end. I made it a little too thick, and now it looks a bit wobbly. So again, something I can clean up. I'm gonna clean up around the edges anyway. The cool thing that I figured out I could do is on my iPhone, if I take a photo, you can like hold on the photo, and if there's like on this white piece of paper, if the background's different enough, it'll like cut out the image for you. And it's not perfect. It's not 100% perfect all the time. But I tried it with the popsicle from the last video, and I just had to clean it up a little bit. Basically, I took it into Fire Alpaca and I like selected around it, and then what do you call that? I shrunk the selection by like 2.5, 3 pixels. Must have been 3, because I don't think you can do half pixels in Fire Alpaca like that. And I deleted that to get rid of some of the excess, and then cleaned up the popsicle stick, and it was cool. It was good. I even tested out putting white around the edges and offset, and it was good. So yeah, this is where I think it finally started looking like ice cream. Going in with the grays. I didn't actually choose the grays first. I got distracted. I just chose the browns, and then I was like, oh yeah, popsicle stick, and that was it. And I just got into it. I was like, oh wait, the ice cream is white. I need grays. So I chose a few grays, 2 initially, and then I was like, I need something else too. And then I randomly grabbed another one, a cool gray, and used a little bit of the colorless blender just on the whitest whites. I didn't have to go in with white because all my white paint pens are apparently dried up. And then I went in with the Holbein, the soft pencil, white in, what is that, 5 is the color. And that's how I did my lightest highlights, and brought out a little, like if I did feel like I was a little heavy-handed in some places, I lightened it up a bit. I tried to use some of my Arctic's color pencils. They didn't really lighten anything, so yeah, not perfect, but I just used the Holbein white as well. But it was really nice going around those crispy edges and adding the colored pencil detail, because now it like actually looks like broken chocolate. And then, as I usually do, I took a similar color to what's on the edge already in colored pencil form, and just went around it to sharpen up the edge a bit, not to darken it, but to sharpen it up. Though I did do a darker color than the popsicle stick color, just because it brings out the wood texture a lot. And then I brought out a gray and a bit for the white, but I was trying to be really careful. It was stressful because I've used a sharpener on this before, and I just couldn't get a sharp point. Like here, you can kind of see it's thick. I didn't want it thick, and I can erase that, of course, later digitally, right? Because I'm going to be making stickers digitally. But it was still frustrating, especially on the inner bits that I can't erase. So I kept like twisting the pencil around, trying to find a sharp edge. So I guess I'm just gonna have to use a knife, because I tried using like the sandpaper, you know, those things that like handle the sandpaper and you rip it off. I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. So either I have to find a better pencil sharpener for these particular pencils, or I just have to use a knife. But yeah, we're approaching the end now. This brown didn't really do much. I just felt like I needed a bit more blending and definition in the lighter bits of chocolate. And that was it. I'm signing it here. And here's a little close-up. You can see a bit more of the texture. I like the texture. I was initially like, oh my god, it's not very smooth. But then in the end, it's nicer on the eyes. So thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you liked it, and please go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!